Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Twitch. Good morning. Welcome to twitch.tv/ice-cream-uploads. How are we all doing today? My name is Graham. How are you doing? This man is called Bib. How's he doing? Let's ask him. Bib, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Graham. I have just looked at the time of when we went live and the time it is now. We was in the 10-ish section today.
Yeah. So, I think on my screen it was 10:58 when we went live. So, yeah. If any of you don't know what we're about, well, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. And we go live each and every single weekday on Twitch at 10 a.m. Ish. So we went live at 10:58, which counts as 10 a.m. ish. I'll take that. We'll take that. Especially as last week we had like a 12:15, I think. Also, I will take that with the fact that my car, the slave cylinder on the clutch, just basically exploded. It didn't. I think it ruptured, so my car was pissing out hydraulic fluid this morning, so I had to go and wait for my car to be recovered and taken to a garage, and I have no car. So all of that has happened, and we still went live an hour and 15 minutes earlier than we did last week. Yay! Results. We'll take that. We will take that. Excuses. Psh, this is no excuse, mate. This is a brag. We got about excuse. I'm telling you, we've achieved. There's no excuse in there. I'm just, I'll take this. Good morning, though. Good morning, Tito. Good morning, Mr. Gagad. How's things? Did you have a good weekend? Just before we get into news and stuff, it is E3 this week. Actually, do you know what? I'll come back to that in a second. I'll get the intro out of the way, so rather than stopping and starting, we'll go through the introduction. So, as mentioned, we are Ice Cream Uploads. We do go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish on Twitch, and that is where we give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories in the world of video games. We want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions, backwards and forwards. That's kind of how it works. So feel free to get involved right here, right now, live on Twitch. Like as mentioned, we do go live each and every single weekday, but the live stream gets turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play, all of the places where people can watch and listen to this stuff on demand, but they don't get to respond to us live in the chat. That's what you guys get to do for those guys. So please feel free to get involved. If you are watching on YouTube, also please feel free to get involved. The comments down below, we do respond to those, and feel free to hit like on the video as well if you like it. If you don't, we'll hit like anyway or else. No, I'm joking. No, I'm not. Calm down. A reminder, today is the day that we do a giveaway. ! Loot drop in the chat. If you're a subscriber, today, you can get involved in the loot drop. So the loot drop is a giveaway that we do each and every single month where one person that's a subscriber, to say thank you for supporting the channel, we give something back. And today we will give away a copy of either Ratchet Clank Rift Apart on PS5, Super Mario Golf on the Switch, or Mass Effect Legendary Edition on your platform of choice. So hopefully, whatever game you want. I mean, there's at least one game for your platform. Let's put it that way. So whoever wins today will be able to choose which one of those games they get to take away. All subs are included as long as they are in the Discord. That includes Prime subs, Tier 1, 2, 3, gifted subs, whatever. You have to be in our Discord, have your accounts linked, and have access to the Loot Drop channel. If you're in there, you're in it to win it. That's it. One person will find out a little bit later on today who's going to win, so make sure you get involved. Good weekend, Bib.
Yes, Graham. I mean, fabulous weather again in Manchester. So there was a lot of golf, there was a lot of barbecuing, there was a lot of dossing around and just enjoying the weather. It feels like for the last couple of weekends, I've not even been in my studio at the weekend. And I think after being cooped up for what seems to be like 18 months with a few openings here and there, literally just like the best thing at this moment in time, like being able to go outside and enjoy, I say the little things, but just being able to go outside. And for me, walk around a golf course is like my thing. I absolutely enjoy doing that. That's what I want to do. So having the ability to be able to do it, I imagine it's the same as you being able to walk into town and go to all these little quirky or Dunkin' Donuts places to be able to go and get something to eat and get a drink and just walk around town and just, I don't want to say be free because it's really cheesy, but just being able to enjoy going outside is there's no reason for me to be in this office or in this studio when there's so many good things going on outside, and just being able to put your phone away and just enjoy going outside.
There's no reason to be in this studio, Bibby says to you guys in chat. Unlucky. You know what he means. Calm down. No, I agree. I've quite a nice, decent-sized garden, which is a little bit of a sun trap until about 6-ish in the afternoon, evening kind of time. So we can go for a mooch into town, get some food, drinks, or whatever, come back, sit in the garden, have a few alcoholic beverages. And on Saturday, we ordered Lucky Mama's Pizza, which is possibly the best pizza in Manchester. It was exceptional. It was good. And watched Point Break, old school filmage, which I've never seen, so I have now seen it. So it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, what did you guys get up to? Did you have a good weekend? Good weather where you are? I'm assuming it was exceptional for everyone. I haven't seen my office in 16 months now, says Tito. When you say that, do you mean like as in like the formal work office or your home office? Because I mean that couch has been worn out, my friend. But yeah, no, we've seen it much more recently.
You just got the ass walk upstairs.
Yeah, just that's it. Just pop up the footstool, laptop on the knee. Jobs are good one. No, it's like 7 months, pretty much. I think it was like maybe the 7th, or no, it was the 7th or 8th of December. We were all last in the office, and obviously now 7th or 8th of June. So, 6-7 months ish. Quick maths in. So yeah, a good chunk of time. That said, we were only in and out sporadically through that. So we're kind of the same, although we have actually been in a few times, which I do miss being in the office because we have the Ice Cream Upload studio. For those of you that may be new here, a lot of people that have watched our content over the last 12 months probably have never even seen the Ice Cream Upload studio. So we have a fully fledged studio. This is my bedroom. Spare room. That is Baby's bedroom. Well, that's Baby bedroom / spare room. These are our home setups. So we have 3 setups for Ice Cream Uploads. Baby's room, my room, and then we have the central studio, the big studio with like multi-screens, multi-cameras, 4K cam, lighting, esports caster desk, and that sort of stuff. Most people that watch our content probably have never seen us use that stuff. So yeah, hopefully we'll get to use it soon. That said, those of you that have seen it that are still fairly new to the channel will have only seen a stripped down, crappy version. We had a socially distanced version of the studio that we did use from like September to December-ish last year, which was nice, did the job, but still wasn't quite nice. And it kept meaning that I was lobbing my laptop at the floor every 5 seconds because that happened. But yeah, there you go. Actual work office, sadly not my home office. Okay, yeah. I get you. Good morning, West says you did about 2 streams in the studio mid-lockdown. We did. I think it was maybe about 4 or 5 ish. But yeah. And that was the socially distant stuff. So it looked quite awkward. Didn't look the most comfortable kind of thing. But yeah, it's good. When we get it all fully set up, we've done like Score Against Cancers and the invitational stuff in there as well. It looks really good. It looks really good. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I do like obviously working in my home environment because it saves me an hour of commuting each way. But there's not quite the same as having like all hands on deck, everyone in the same room, vibing off each other whilst you do a big broadcasty kind of stream. That's good. Anyway, we'll talk about that some other time. That's a long way away, or not. We don't know. We will see. It's not right now, though. What is right now, though, is Pokemon, but with guns. That's the lead story today. I'll give you more on that. We will follow that up with stories of Xbox exclusive titles coming to PS5. And PS5 exclusive titles going to Xbox. So what the fuck? It's all change. And plus a few extra details for Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That's the news that's coming up over the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. But as mentioned, let's jump into the first story. Pokemon, but with guns. This story is now on the screen. Nice. There we go. Don Peppiatt at VG247 says, creature collecting game Palworld looks like a dark, twisted take on Pokemon. Ever wondered what Pokemon would be like if it were more reflective of the real world? Well, wonder no longer, because Palworld is likely to answer that question. Let me hit the play on the trailer while I'm reading. Let's be honest, if Pokemon were real, there's a very good chance they'd be used like animals in our world. Battery farmed, exploited for labour, used as tools, and for industry, as well as domesticated as pets. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl are launching on November 19th, 2021, but if you prefer a more mature, pessimistic look at the creature collecting genre, perhaps Pocket Pair's Palworld should be on your radar. Palworld is an open-world survival game that revolves around pals, creatures similar to Pokemon that can be sold, will protect you with their life, and can be made to work in factories until they die. It's all very late-stage capitalism. Palworld deviates from the Pokemon formula in that you can opt to slaughter the pals with guns. Yes, really, for food or resources, or choose a more crime-free life and use your pals to help you raise crops and make a homestead. Fucking murdering Pokemon. It's like bug snacks via Oddworld with a distinctly Pokemon flavour, and it certainly caught our attention. You can check out the trailer above, ta-da, to get a feel for what the game's trying to do. It seems you'll be facing off against illegal poachers and exploring dark dungeons with the help of your indentured buddies, and the creature design itself looks a delight too. The game is scheduled to be released in 2022, and at the time of the writing, it's only been confirmed for a Steam release. There you go. Trailer just finished. Palworld coming to PC 2022. Bib, would you like to murder some Pokemon?
Yes. Yes, I would. I think this looks really cool. I think it's a completely different spin on what we've seen recently. So you've had the breakout games like Temtem, which is basically just a Pokemon clone. This looks like a Pokemon clone with Breath of the Wild type experience, along with, I thought Bowser was in it for a second. I'm just trying to find the minute again as I look through the trailer, like 1 minute 14. Like, if that's not Bowser's shell, I generally don't know what is. But it's got some really cool functions in this. Like, you'll be able to get like a water pal. Yeah, it's pal in it. Yeah, like a water pal. Electric pal that you can put onto a fishing rod, throw it into the lake, and then it will electrocute water pals in there to come up to the top, so you can take them and potentially eat them and things like that. It looks a bit mental, but it looks cool. Like, this looks great. I've already added it to my wish list. When I watched the trailer this morning, I thought, yep, this is me. It's already in my wish list, waiting for it to come out next year.
Like James says in the chat. Good morning, James. 100,000% getting it. Don't like the evolution of your pal? Just shoot it. Okay, imagine that. Imagine just having a Charmander or whatever and going, Charmander, let's get. Oh, it's evolving. Your Charmander's evolving. Then you get the boom, 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 and then Charmander turns into Charmeleon. Like, the fuck is that? Oh no, Charmeleon has died. Yeah, incredible.
I think it looks cool. I want to know more about it though. Like, it says you can either do it for good or be bad. Like, you can use your Pokemon and get them to sort out all your crops or help build all your settlements and things like that. But then you've got to go to somebody else's settlement, blow the shit up, take the Pokemon. Palmon. Just pals. You just take all the pals, flog them for coins, and then go and do the same thing. Like, this could be cool. This could be very cool. I mean, the trailer makes it look pretty good. I'll be interested to see what the full game looks like, because it could be really shit and cheesy. But yeah, I like the look of this.
West says salvery. I'm assuming that's slavery. Yes, yeah, potentially. I mean, if you can have murder, then slavery is clearly a step down from that. I mean, it's not very good, but it's not as bad as murder, I suppose. Or is it? I don't know. But yeah. I mean, I do like the fact that, I mean, it's still very colourful, very, very, like the way Bibby said it. I'll put it back on screen again now. It's Breath of the Wild is sort of that. What did Gods and Monsters get called in the end? What was that called? I can't remember. Whatever Gods and Monsters became in the end, that same sort of aesthetic. It's very colourful, very artistic, animated, and so on. That's nice. But then you've roped in with that mature, pessimistic themes at that same end. So you can, you could be a bit boring. I mean, Pokemon is obviously always story driven, but you could be a bit more, not boring, but you can be a bit more functional in terms of, okay, we're going to be more like Animal Crossing. We're going to grow some crops. We're going to do that kind of element. I mean, what the fuck was that? Was that like two Pokemon merged together to make some bigger Pokemon at 45 seconds? Yeah. Pals, not Pokemon, because that's a completely different game. But yeah, I like the fact that there's a lot going on. Pokemon is battle to be the best collect as many as you can, but be the best. Whereas this sounds like, well, you can commit murder, you can do a bit of farming. You can, yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I wonder how long till we see show like 6 hour streams of Palworld.
Yeah. It needs to happen. As I said, this kind of stuff, it looks. 1 second. I've got no idea if my windows are about to be clean, so I could end up shitting myself in about 30 seconds. I don't. I've just heard a ladder go. But yeah, I mean, this looks class. I hope that does have like a 2-player co-op element, because I think that'd be really cool. But I mean, I'm here for the single player experience as well. But yeah, I'm interested to see how much they price it as well, because I can't see this looking like a £60 game, if I'm being honest. But
I mean,
there's been some crazy games that have been Super Street Star Soccer or whatever, Super Freestyle Soccer or whatever was never a £45 game, but they managed to put it. It was a mobile game that got ported over to the console and put 45 quid in it. I can't imagine there's so many of them.
It depends on, I mean, how many games in one. So at the moment, we've got Animal Crossing New Horizons / Farmville. You're building your crops and stuff and using Pokemon to do that. There's Pokemon, obviously, within that. If you can go attack other people's bases and stuff like that. I mean, we could be crossing boundaries here. There could be elements of State of Decay, some GTA vibes going on, driving around on your Pokemon, jacking other Pokemon, taking them. Yoink! I'll take that for mine. Thank you. I mean, so suddenly 60 quid. You could be paying for 4 games in one, so it might be a bit of a bargain. Oh, there's the window cleaner, dude. Hey, window cleaner, give us a wave. Window cleaner, give us a wave. So yeah, anyway, there you go. Enough of that. Palworld, Pokemon but with guns. Is anyone interested? Would you play this? What are your thoughts? I do actually quite look. I mean,
on your Steam list.
Memes aside, it looks reasonably solid. To say this is a full year out and we've not seen anything before, like that bit. Let me. Super loud music. So we've seen the Pokemon side of it. You can see the super colourfulness, but this bit about 55 seconds-ish in, or maybe closer to a minute. Maybe I went back a bit too far. I did, yeah. So this bit, okay, you've got a bit of violence. You've got birds knocking people over. But this is absolutely not Pokemon. Woman with a bazooka at 1 minute exactly just blows up an entire castle kind of thing. Yeah, and then they look Pokemon manufacturing M16 machine guns. Do you want an M4? Jobs are good. There you go. So yeah, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's why we'll see. We'll see when it comes out. No doubt we'll play it. But yeah, crazy. But we'll have a go. I'm waiting for the Peter response, given how they view Pokemon. Says Iceman. Yikes!
Not even real for futures. But yeah, I've just checked their Steam listing just to make sure it is actually online co-op and LAN co-op, which is fantastic.
Just imagine you're everyone running around with EVs and M16s kind of thing. They couldn't get any more Pokemon if they tried. What, with M16s and M4s? Iceman, when a Gyarados and a Flareon love each other very much. I mean, that's what that was. Where was that? It was like 40 odd seconds in or whatever. It's exactly the one. There, it was after this. So Gyarados, not Gyarados. That's I was saying it. You've not even got it on the screen. Gyarados, not Gyarados. That's Water Dragon and Fire Dog thing. Flareon love each other. You get Flaridos. Yeah. There you go. Welcome.
Amazing.
Nice. Anyway, let's move ahead. The next story of the day, and this is actually 2 stories in one. So I'll go through one, and then I'll jump through the next story because they're both very, very closely linked. So we'll jump through them back to back. But I did mention that we have kind of a weird scenario of games that were exclusive, not being exclusive anymore. If you don't know what I'm on about, this will make sense. Jamie LATOUR at the Gamer says, Xbox exclusive, the Medium has been rated for PS5. So Bloober Team's Silent Hill-inspired horror game may soon be coming to Sony's shiny new system. Do you know, I mean, this doesn't surprise me, but I'm caught off guard by this. I didn't expect this. I just assumed exclusive. I didn't even consider timed exclusive. But let's jump in. Bloober Team's latest spooktacular title, The Medium, may be on its way to the PS5. Previously, it was a console exclusive for the Xbox Series X and S and was only available otherwise on PC. It also launched on Game Pass, so if you have access to anything with Microsoft's name on it, you may have already experienced this supernatural adventure. However, if you happen to be a horror game fan who's managed to get their hands on a PS5, there's a strong chance that this Silent Hill-inspired Ghost Fest is being ported over to your fancy new Sony system. The ESRB website shows the listing for the Medium, with PlayStation 5 shown as one of its platforms. While this is hardly an official confirmation that it's coming to PS5, it can be seen as a pretty good indication that this split-screen thriller is going to be playable on a DualSense controller. The Medium received decent reviews when it originally released back in January. The PC version currently holds a 75% rating on Metacritic, while the Xbox Series X and S stands at 71%. It's the latest in Bloober Team's long list of disturbing titles such as the Layers of Fear series, Observer, and the Blair Witch. There are rumours flying around about Bloober Team's next game as they're hiring new staff for what's set to be a very big project. It's led to some speculate that they could be developing a new entry in the Silent Hill franchise for Konami, but as of right now, there's no evidence to back this rumour up, just a lot of hope for the first good Silent Hill game in a long while. It is interesting to see this news shortly after the Bloober Team has reportedly backed out of acquisition talks with big name publishers. Considering that the Medium has been touted as an Xbox exclusive for some time, it seems likely that Microsoft may have been one of the companies who attempted to purchase the Polish horror game developer. With those discussions now over, perhaps Bloober is trying to maximize the exposure of this game by getting it on whatever console can run it. If the ESRB listing is accurate, we'll probably get an official announcement from either Sony or Bloober Team sometime soon. It'll be good news for horror fans and owners of the ever-elusive PS5. Could we see some E3 news around this? Actually, let me stop. I was going to come back to this. I was going to mention it at the beginning, and then I just didn't mention it, and I completely forgot about it entirely. That's what I was going to say. E3 is this week-ish, / next week-ish, this weekend. So we will be putting together some E3 coverage. We're still finalising that. We've reached out to a couple of people to ask if they would like to get involved in the E3 coverage for us, with us this week. And I won't name names, but those people I will reach out again today with a little bit more information. But hopefully we'll have some watch-alongs throughout E3, which starts Thursday, Friday-ish. I mean, technically it starts a little bit before that if you count the Battlefield reveal, but we will include some live watch-alongs as well as the Scoop. So basically, Scoop After Hours podcasts. Nice. And hopefully we can loop in some Friends of Ice Cream uploads as well. So we will have more content coming for you this week than we've had forever before. So please feel free to stick around for that. But anyway, Xbox exclusive The Medium coming to PS5 could be announced soon, could just all be rumours. Could we see it at E3? What are your thoughts, babe?
Yes, I think so. I mean, we've mentioned, well, I particularly I'm sure you are as well, and the rest of the world is the console exclusive thing. As much as it's a console, these games, I can't see this being a console seller, but you've got the likes of Xbox or Microsoft buying Bethesda, and then potentially all of the Bethesda games only coming out on one specific console. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think it'll be good for business from their side. I mean, they've been acquired by Microsoft, so they've already got the money that they potentially need to only ever bring them out on Xbox for the foreseeable future. But for the sake of trying to get more money, we've mentioned this with like the Days Gone stuff and Horizon. The games have reached their absolute peak over on one console, and they can't get any money again from that audience. Asim's put in the chat about the Medium, about sums it up. To be honest, Medium, like I don't. No one on the Xbox is probably going to buy this now. If they do, they will probably get it on Games Pass. I haven't bought it. I've got it on Games Pass. I still haven't downloaded it. So to try and get a new audience, to try to get more money, they move it over to a different console. They'll try and get some more money from that just by porting it over. Like they don't. I don't think they'll need to do that much. I don't think that they're going to make it super upscaled res and all the haptic feedback stuff. They won't do any of that shit. They'll just make it playable over on the PlayStation. So a brand new audience to potentially get some money in. This is where I see this kind of thing going on. Like there may be exclusives, but I reckon they'll be timed. I can't see games in the next 10 years just being console specific. I don't think it works for a lot of games, but eventually they'll reach the ceiling. And there'll be another couple of million people that have never played this game before, or any of these console-specific games that want to play them but couldn't before. So I can see this. I mean, we can copy and paste this argument onto the next article. But yeah, this is exactly the same thing. Ceiling's been reached. an okay game. They won't make any more money off it. Let's bring it to a brand new audience and then see where we go from there. I can't see these exclusive games being exclusive all of the time. I mean, Xbox have got it good because they can just move it over to the PC Game Pass or move it over to the PC Store, so then you'll be able to play them via the Windows Store or whatever. You can get another 30 quid for them, but eventually your ceiling will be reached, and then you just move on to a different audience. I think that's the way that games are going to be in the future. Again, I'll say it one more time, louder for the people in the back. I cannot see any Bethesda games just being console exclusive. I just can't. Why would they do that when they know there's 120 million PlayStation 4s knocking about, and I don't know, a couple of 10 million, shall we say, PS5s knocking around? It feels like you're alienating a large audience there to not potentially get any money from.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because it's kind of a little bit of a juxtaposition, because you've got brands like PlayStation and Xbox making their console exclusive titles, their first party titles. They want to have their own games on their own platforms that are not available anywhere else. They want to buy exclusives like Square Enix's Final Fantasy games, be it permanently, be it timed exclusives or whatever. They want exclusives just for their systems. But it's quite funny because they also realize that having that level of exclusivity isn't necessarily the smartest move. We've got Days Gone hitting PC. We've potentially got, what was the other one that was rumoured recently? Was it the Uncharted games coming to PC?
It was Uncharted 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was it. So Uncharted 4 coming to PC, Days Gone on PC, Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. So PlayStation know that, okay, just having our own platform is foolish because you're cutting off the rest of the industry. But still, there's this need for having these level of exclusives. I mean, there may be even something that I don't know if, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it'd be interesting to see if there was any research into new generations, whether that increases the need for exclusivity periods. So you tend to get only on Xbox or only on PlayStation, but from third-party titles, is it just me, or does that happen a lot more when we have a new generation? So, like, they need to have an exclusive reason for you to pick up the blue box or the green box, and that is the medium is only available on the green box for a period of time. So it could be a case of maybe this generation does start to go back to the everything's a bit open, and apart from first party titles, we're not going to have as much exclusivity, because that for me is the better world. I mean, games that don't have any ties to exclusivity, it just means that you can get people in, you can get people playing. King Comic, thank you very much for the host. And he says, Bibbs and Graham, the G, how are you players doing today? Good. We're pretty good. How's things, dude? You okay? You have a good weekend?
How are you doing?
Anyway, I'll pause for just a second there. So if you are new into this, we are currently talking about Xbox exclusive title, The Medium, which came out alongside the launch of the Series X and S. It may have been just before, but anyway, it was kind of a launch title. Don't know if it was definitively, but it was that period. That Xbox exclusive has now been rated for the PS5 by the ESRB, which means that it could be coming to the PlayStation, which surely is a little bit of a catastrophe for Xbox, having their exclusives going to the other brand. That's not something that PlayStation would ever let happen, right? Oh, no, wait. Andy Robinson at VGC says it looks like PlayStation console exclusive Oddworld Soulstorm is coming to Xbox. So ESRB rates platformer for Series X, S, and One. It looks like PlayStation console exclusive Oddworld Soulstorm will soon release for Xbox platforms. As spotted by Gematsu, the Entertainment Software Rating Board, ESRB, has rated Soulstorm for both Xbox Series X, S, and Xbox One. Oddworld Inhabitants released Soulstorm in April for PS5, PC, and PC through the Epic Games Store. At release, the game was free for PS5 PS Plus subscribers for the month of April. A 2.9D platformer featuring destructible environments and new crafting gameplay, Soulstorm is described as a complete reboot of Abe's Exodus, the 1998 sequel to Abe's Odyssey, which suffered critically for having to be developed in less than a year. In VGC's Oddworld Soulstorm review, critic John Bale said the game has plenty of smart ideas, but few of them gel. Oddworld Soulstorm is an advancement on previous games in the series in every way, but that's both its biggest achievement and the source of its problems. The complexity and variety in its locations is commendable, as is the wealth of tools at your disposal for dealing with its many tricks and foes, but many of its systems don't work together reliably, should I say, or don't respond with the necessary speed, which leaves an experience that's rarely as entertaining as it promises to be. So not the greatest game in the world, another medium, as Mr. T said about the medium in the last one, but another interesting kind of side avenue, a PlayStation exclusive now coming to Xbox. They're all at it. Bib, thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, just copy and paste what I've just said about the medium coming to the PlayStation. Like, this is good for a completely different audience. Like, for it feels like for when you think of Abe, you always think of the PlayStation 1. That it's just what it is. Now, I don't know, 20 years later, it's out on the PlayStation 4, it's playable on your PlayStation 5, and there could be a completely different audience that are going to be playing it on the Xbox. Like, cool, fantastic. Get to look at this weird fucking creature farting around all the time. Like, this is good for everyone. It genuinely is good for everyone. Fair enough. If the future is timed exclusives, fine. That's cool. That is absolutely fine. But at least at some point, someone's going to be able to play a completely different new franchise or a completely different game that they'd never played before. That's fantastic in my book. I know there will be people who are soul heavy and proper fanboys that don't want this shit to ever happen because they represent their particular console. Fine, you can have that opinion, but this is mine. Games for everybody. That's what makes us happy. We're getting to play more games than ever before. I'm absolutely cool with that.
Let me just jump back into the chat. King Comment says, weekend was hectic, having to deal with the people trying to take life at work. Yikes. But other than that, a fat lip from the dentist, all good tart. Well, do you know, at least you can still type freely. You don't need lips when you're typing in Twitch chat. That's what makes it beautiful. Hope you heal quick. Mr. T says, it's almost like third-party console exclusives are, in most cases, not as lucrative as having them available on all consoles. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. Not being able to take money from the entirety of the market isn't as profitable as just taking it from some parts of the market, and means that the market is also not starved of content that's available in other areas. It's almost like having things exclusive is bad, quite legitimately, across not all areas, but across a lot of them. Strange. Yeah, the interesting thing, like what makes that happen though? So Oddworld and Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus, and Munch's Odyssey, and all of the stuff that's come from Oddworld Inhabitants, massive, huge game for PlayStation 1, not exclusive now. Is that because it's not the same game that it was to PlayStation anyway? So obviously, I mean, this review talking about Oddworld Soulstorm says it's not the same game in terms of it's adventurous, but it doesn't quite achieve what it wants to do all the way throughout, which is fine. Sometimes developers don't quite hit where they the mark that they're trying to go for. But have PlayStation given up on this then? The fact that they aren't purchasing exclusivity, they don't want to keep Abe as a PlayStation only brand. They're not greasing the palms or crossing the palms with silver from the of the guys at Oddworld Inhabitants. Have they just gone, do you know what? Abe isn't valuable anymore. We've got modern day family characters like Astrobot instead. Could that be a sign that Abe just isn't valuable anymore? Not to PlayStation?
Yeah, I agree. I think so. It's been 20 years. Like, I know they've brought out games in between there, but no one thinks of those games. Like, as far as for the people that I know that speak about this game, they never talk about the ones in between. It's always seen as the PlayStation 1 version of the game. It's been a long time. They probably brought this back out just to...
without a step two. Sorry, okay. Old people, that's a song. That's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, a very good song, to be fair. But yeah, it's been 20 years. Why would they've been sat on this as a reboot? I don't know how much it cost them. I don't know how much they ended up bringing back in for this game, and how much money they made off it. Put like clear profit. I think it was more of a passion project more than anything. But Abe doesn't hold the weight it once did. Unfortunately, isn't there a new one coming out this year as well?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, that's the thing. Like that said, 2.9D platformer. Was that it, or was that like I don't know. I mean, this one came out in April. Maybe this is it. I don't know. I mean, that could be it. I mean, I remember watching it in some of the live watch. This could have been it. This could
Yeah.
have been it. But yeah, I don't believe it does fully hold the weight anymore, which is a shame. Which is a shame. It's natural though, just in the same way that a lot people don't want to play side scrollers as much as they used to do because times have moved on. That open world sandbox style is much more immersive than just playing side scrolling 2D beat 'em up kind of things.
It was this one.
Yeah,
It was this one. It came out in April.
so yeah, I mean that's the
My
thing.
fucking head.
We watched it in the was it State of Play it was featured in. I was like, okay, this looks cool. It's nice to have Abe back, but then completely lost. So it's probably a mixture of the both. Oddworld inhabitants are jumping at the opportunity to being on other platforms because PlayStation aren't jumping at the opportunity to keep that exclusive to that platform, which is a bit of a shame for Oddworld and Abe and the legacy that comes around that, but gives them the freedom to try new things and gives them the ability to seek out new audiences, new revenue streams, and potentially new in-game content as well. So yeah, it all ties in terms of if the medium would have been exceptional, Xbox were in conversations to buy Bloober. If the medium absolutely trounced it, maybe Xbox would have pulled out the Bethesda monies and snatched up Bloober, and that would have remained an Xbox exclusive. But that's kind of the thing as well, is brands want new things, and brands, when I'm talking about brands, I'm talking about Xbox, I'm talking about PlayStation, first parties. They want new things, they want the big things, they want the exclusives, but only when they're valuable, which is kind of a shame because it shows you that it's exclusives are purely capitalistic. It's all about the money grind, making you buy into their side of the console war, and the fact that Abe isn't as valuable as he was, so we'll let him go wherever. The fact that the medium was medium, as Asim says, yeah, that's the reason why they become a multi-platform. Which it's nice that people still get to experience them, but it's a little bit of a realistic indictment of the industry and the fact that okay, now we've had the value out of you, you can toddle off, you can go on, which is a shame. Anyway, let's move ahead. Do you know what? It's actually been a pretty quick scoop today. We've only been on for 45 minutes, including the intro, and we only have one news article left. And it's a pretty lightweight one, which is actually very relevant to the next bit of news. Actually, before I jump into that, seems sensible. King Comic says seems sensible to share the game on different platforms. To be honest, don't see the point in being exclusive. Enlightenment. No, I agree. I much prefer a lack of exclusivity. If it's a third-party game, the only benefit is financial. So if PlayStation throws a wedge of money at Oddworld inhabitants to build it just for their game, for their system, then Oddworld inhabitants get guaranteed money. They may or may not earn more doing that. It's just to get guaranteed income means that you can pay your development teams, your staffing and whatever, and you know that you've got a good return on investment there. Maybe not as big as going as whole of market, but also could be bigger than going whole of market. So it's purely financial. PlayStation gets an exclusive title that nobody can get anywhere else, which means that more people that want to play that game are more likely to buy their platforms. So that's all it is. It's purely financial. So I just do not. It's not in the benefit of the consumers ever. So I would happily see all exclusives, unless it's a first party crafted title. So PlayStation makes Uncharted, naturally that's going to be on their title, which means that they don't have to worry about creating something that works on Xbox's velocity architecture and starting to code the game in different ways, which adds time and money and whatever. They can just build things for their system. That I'm completely on board with. You make something for your engine, for your system, for your OS that works perfectly. Jobs are good, and forget the other ones. But third parties that are building for other OSs and stuff, then yeah, I don't like it as much there. King Comet says, do you guys have any scoop on any PES 2022 news? No. And even if we
everything.
Yeah, all
Strap
the stuff.
yourself in, boys.
All the stuff. Even if we did, we wouldn't tell you. So no. But no, nothing. I don't even have to do nothing that we can share anyway, because genuinely we've no idea. And even if we did, we would, depending on the news, we would probably keep away from the PES stuff anyway, just because obviously, full disclosure, I'm sure most people know that we do work with Konami, so we don't tend to pick up stories that we're super close to just because we don't want to be seen to be giving out information. I mean, a lot when we talk about rumor stories, we don't know, so that's us giving the rumors and giving stuff that could be close or might be seen as being close or stuff. So with PES, we would, for the most part, leave a lot of it out unless it's just like a new big update to the game that everyone's got. We might cover that then. But rumors and speculation, we don't comment on that, because if we comment on something, does that mean it's not real? Because we can talk about it. And if we don't comment on something, does that mean it is real? Because we're not talking about it. So we just go kind of we're not really going to talk about PES stuff at all for the scoop, because people start trying to read between the lines and stuff. So yeah. So no, we don't know anything anyway. But yeah, we probably wouldn't discuss the PES stuff just because we won't want to get in trouble. The point is money, says Mr. T. In some cases, the console company, Sony or Microsoft, might pay the developer publisher a ridiculous amount of money to be exclusive, the kind of money that will cover all development costs, marketing costs, and revenue that they might have been lost from being on all consoles. These will be big games. They do that so they can sell more consoles. Exactly. I see what you mean, Graham and Asim. It's all about the finance, and thanks for the enlightenment. Yeah, I see what you mean. You have a responsibility. Yeah, and it's not just about the responsibility. We'd like to discuss the rumor mill for the PES stuff, but like I say, we don't want to be talking on things that we might know stuff about. But if we only then talk about the stuff that we don't know anything about and we ignore bits of news, then people will be like, oh, well, they do know stuff about that because they're not saying it. So we've just chosen to just leave it all alone.
Rather not mislead. Yeah. Why would we want to mislead anyone? That's not the purpose of why we do this in the first place. If we could just go, yes, this isn't coming. Yes, this is coming. Makes no sense. It just makes no sense, because it could either be seen as misleading or we're just telling the truth. Like, we can't win out of that. So what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. King Comment says, yeah, I see what I mean. You have a responsibility. With great power comes with you know. Tito says PES 22 will be a Stadia exclusive. Okay, but that we can confirm is bullshit. But yes, nice. Breaking. The Scoot confirms PES 22 by answering question that they don't know anything about PES 2022. Exactly. It's all about being credible these days. That's it. I mean, we could probably throw out loads of, we're credible, we've got the ITK information, but then we will probably not be able to do the Scoop because the rest of the day job that comes around at the outside of it would collapse. So don't think that. Anyway, one final story for you today. I mentioned, obviously, it's a light show, but it's a light story in more ways than one. Wesley Yin-Poole at Eurogamer says Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which could be won today. If you're a subscriber, one subscriber will bag themselves a prize today. Thank you very much. The 19 months from the most beautiful lady in the world, Danny Day, 83 with the 19-month prime. Cheers, babe. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart weighs in at a nimble 33 gig. Bolt on, says Wesley Yin-Poole. PlayStation 5 exclusive Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart weighs in at a nimble 33 gig. That's 33.618 gig to be exact, according to Twitter account at PlayStation Size. I expect Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, let me play on the trailer, to take up more of my PS5 SSD, so it comes as I expected it to take up more of my PS5 SSD, so it comes as a welcome surprise to see Insomniac's adventure arrive on the smaller side. Quote, sizes are getting smaller on native PS5 games due to the compression techniques and SSD, Insomniac community chief James Stevenson explained on Twitter. My PS5 is currently taken up with 186 gigabytes of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, 148 gigs of Black Ops Cold War, 105 gig of Mass Effect Legendary Edition, 42.51 gig of FIFA 21, and I can fit Ratchet and Clank in no problem. Donlan recently went hands-on with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and called it a PS5 stress test built from charm. It's due out on the 11th of June. Nice. See, I love this, but I also don't love this. This quote here from James Stevenson, Insomniac community chief, says sizes are getting smaller on native PS5 games due to the compression techniques and SSD. That's what we were promised. That's the future we were promised in terms of when we were talking about next gen games. I'm going to take this off the screen, even though the trailer is playing. When we're talking about next gen games, the conversation was about, okay, yes, we do have 4K textures. Yes, we do have ray tracing, all of that stuff, but the way that we use an SSD means that assets are not needing to be repeated. You have one item put in, and then that one item can be used wherever in the game. And the logic behind that is that if you use a HDD, a hard disk drive, you have a circular disk that spins round. So if you have the data on one end of the disk that you need to access, to load that, you need to rotate the disk round. Obviously, it spins really fast, but in terms of loading shit, you'd have to load the disk, spin round to the other side, get the data that you want, plug it into the game, decode it, whatever. Whereas on SSD, it's super fast, so it doesn't matter where it is. You can stick it in one corner of the SSD, and you could be looking at something else in the other corner of SSD, and it can just access it in super quick time. So that you don't need data to be duplicated over and over again, which makes your games smaller. And jobs are good. And okay. So we're told that an SSD makes games faster and smaller, and then we get Call of Duty, which is like 7 million hard drives worth, and it's like, for fuck's sake. So that was all a lie. It's bullshit. But no, it's not actually. It's turning out that it is true. However, it's that wording. Sizes are getting smaller on native PS5 games, so we have to get next gen only before the games actually get smaller and get lighter. Interesting. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I mean, this is bizarre to say that it comes in at like 34 gig compared to like Call of Duty. Like, what is Call of Duty? And this is going to sound like a ridiculous comparison, but hear me out. How big is Ratchet and Clank compared to Modern Warfare? Like, are the textures that much better in Modern Warfare that it requires to be over 100 gigabytes more? Like, why is it so big? It's a battle royale. They've got like 4 maps. What's the difference? Like, I need to see the comparisons in the file sizes and what they've got going on, because Ratchet and Clank, from what I've seen, looks like it's using the whole power of the PlayStation 5, whether that be the CPU, the GPU, or the RAM and the SSD. Whereas
GPU.
but Modern Warfare, does it require that much more? Like, is it because it's badly optimized? Does it need more help? Yeah, it seems bizarre. I mean, I'm all for it. A future that where you can fit more games on your hard drive, so you don't have to go out and buy another £100 hard drive to be able to put an extra 2 games on there, because the games are getting ridiculously sized. I don't know, but I mean, like they said in that article, they've got Modern Warfare, the Battle Royale, Warzone, that's 148 gig or whatever, and then they've got Cold War, which is like another 150 gig. It seems excessive compared to something like Ratchet and Clank. And Ratchet and Clank could be a 4-hour game, who knows? So it probably doesn't require that amount. But are the assets that much bigger in Modern Warfare or Warzone? It's probably going to piss off all the Warzone fans, but I can't see Warzone using the whole power of the console to be able to get that kind of, I'll require that amount of space. I don't know. I probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but I know I don't, but I just need to know more, because it feels like a brand new game that's come out for a brand new console. It's not coming out on the PlayStation 4 as far as I'm aware. It's just a PlayStation 5 game, and it only requires 34 gigs. But some games that run on the PlayStation 4 require 148. Seems backwards to me, that.
Yeah, I mean, this is the stuff that I was kind of looking forward to. I remember that horrendously dull Mark Cherney PS5 deep dive. And sitting through that, and I was like, okay, I understand not all of the words that Mark Cherney is saying. Nobody ever does. But every third, fourth, fifth word kind of makes sense, which allowed me to put sentences together. Sentences led to paragraphs, which led to general understanding that new generation, better graphics, bigger textures, but less textures overall, should be faster, should be quicker, shouldn't be as meaty. Jobs are good and nice. And then we load up the next generation, and it's all the same / bigger. And I'm like, well, this is bullshit. But yeah, I think that's like, so you were mentioning, how is Ratchet and Clank not anywhere near as big as Warzone / Modern Warfare / Black Ops and stuff. And I think there's probably multiple elements there. So you've got Warzone, which is a standalone title, but I think there'll be a lot of stuff in the Warzone download that links in to the Modern Warfare, the Black Ops / Modern Warfare full games. So if you have Warzone downloaded, there'll be a lot of stuff that allows that game to just instantly load into Warzone or into Black Ops or whatever. So there's a lot of unnecessary bump. I say unnecessary, it's clearly necessary because it's in there. But from the game's perspective of the core of just playing Warzone, in that sense, in an ideal world, you wouldn't have that sort of tie-in shit. Also, there's the fact that it is last gen. So that reference that I mentioned a minute ago about having the HDD disk and having to jump to the back end of the disk to get the little bit of code for that map and then coming back to where you were processing, that doesn't work in that sort of sense. The disk doesn't actually jump around. So what it does is it puts the code at the back end of the disk, and then it'll put one on the left-hand side, one on the right-hand side, and then one in the middle, like the other side. So basically, it doesn't have to jump all the way around. The same bit of data is repeated over and over and over and over again, which will add up to the stupid sizes. I wonder if they did a PS5 version of Warzone or Black Ops exclusively made for the PS5. So using the words in this, PS5 native. It'd be interesting to see if that 100, where's the figures? 186 gig for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It'd be interesting to see if that falls below 100 gig. I think it's very possible. I mean, if you can get all of Ratchet and Clank, which is a much more technical feat in game on the processors, on the system, you have to believe that. So in terms of, not saying like Modern Warfare and Warzone and Battle Royales aren't technical feats, they are hugely technical feats, but not visually. You're looking at a shootout and a map and a game. The technical feat is more server side, you've got to imagine, to have the data on where all of the items are, where all of the consumables, the ammo, the buildings and stuff, where all of the individual players are, and have all of those connections in the same game. That's more of a network feat of, it's a wonderful feat, but it's networking, essentially. It's not like an overload of resources, whereas Ratchet and Clank has a full game world rendered and then has another full game world rendered on top of that at the exact same time, but then is only 33 gig. It's literally 3, 6, 9, 12. So it's 1/5 of the file size, but is so much more miraculous. So it's got to be when we get to the next generation, it's got to be a case of the CODs and stuff are lighter. That said, there's also other things that could factor into it. Ratchet and Clank is only made for the PS5, so it's not just made for the PS5 native in terms of the next generation. It's not made for Xbox either, so that will be built specifically for that system. So when I'm talking about having little bits of code dotted around the HDD to make it faster to load, there'll probably be little bits of code dotted around in the PS5 format, and the PS4 format, and the Xbox One format, and the Xbox Series format, and like third-party games are probably beefier because of a result of that, creating things for multi-platform stuff too. Whereas Insomniac don't have to worry about that, so that could be a bit as well.
I was just thinking then as you was explaining it, I was like, okay, so maybe because this is available on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and then Xbox Series X and S, that to make it run on all systems and to make it have crossplay, that the package, that the same packages are all bundled into one. Do you know what I mean? So like it has all the assets for all the consoles in that particular package, so that it's capable of running crossplay. So in the PlayStation 5, we play it on PlayStation 5, it'll have the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X all bundled and smashed package wise into that gigabyte, into that 86 gigabytes worth of content, so that it's available to be played on all of these consoles. So it isn't just playable over the internet. It has to read all of the files to say, okay, they're playing with Xbox, so we'll load in the Xbox and PlayStation versions of the game at the same time. I don't know. I think it feels bizarre. Like I said, if we get a PlayStation 5 version, it could just be smaller.
I think you're probably right though. That package, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, PlayStation can be super lightweight when they're making their first party titles, be that Insomniac or Naughty Dog or whoever. They know that they're building for that system, so they don't have to worry about the excess, we need to have this bit of code and these extra formats. So maybe we need it in format A for the PlayStation, but we need it in format B for the Xbox, and we need it in format C for the Xbox Series for the Velocity architecture to use that. So we're going to have to zip all that into a 3 format file and put that into the root folder. So when a player loads it up, the system goes, is this a PS5? No, get rid of format A. Is this an Xbox One? No, get rid of format B. So all the data's still there. So yeah, I think you're possibly right. I think you're possibly right with that. Aiden the Phantom, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome into the chat. I can tell you are going to be big. That's because of all the pies and all the cold coffees.
I say I'm already big. I'm already a big boy. Man's in double XL, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But anyway, cheers, dude. Good morning. That should be the chat then. Because of Kraken technology, I think it's down to the quality why the size is so big. I mean, it could be quality will no doubt be a part of it, but then there's a lot of physical architecture stuff that will impact on that as well. Massively, no doubt. Let me jump back a little bit though to Enix, who did sub. So whilst Baby was talking a second ago, you may have not heard the stuff, but I will. Do you know what? Let me play it again. We'll get the text to speech to do it because I can't do it justice.
Stay frosty. Yeah.
Stay frosty, yeah.
Been subbed for way too long. Halo on Sunday. Halo on Sunday. Halo
Like
on
RS.
Sunday. Loves and stuff.
Been subbed for way too long. Halo on Sunday. Halo on Sunday. Halo on Sunday. Loves and stuff. Nice. There you go.
How funny would it be though if there was no Halo stuff? I think they've announced that there is going to be Halo stuff, but I can imagine Jordan getting excited for nothing. They're going, and that's the end of the show. We'll look forward to seeing you again later on in the year at Gamescom. And Jordan's just like, what the fuck, mate? What's going on here?
Yeah,
mate?
yeah, mate. Yeah. What's that about? No, imagine though, like if they went like, oh, do you know? I need to whip out the voice mod for this.
World premiere.
Get like the build up to it, almost Terminator effecty music, gets louder, and then it's like you see Master Chief, and it's like full on like PS1 graphics, full on Craig again. It's like, oh no, we waited all this time
even
for
better.
this.
They had the exclusive for Smash Brothers, and it has all that stuff. You see Master Chief, you're like, woo! And then Mario punches him out.
Let's go. It's like, oh no. You should be able to.
Oh, it's so funny.
You should be able to do a Salford accent. Says that's exactly what I did. Oh man, that's the same thing. That's what I tell Danielle all the time, and she hurts me.
Yeah, that's it.
Jump back up because of Kraken technology. Cheers, and I've heard of Kraken to be honest, but I don't know much about it. Kraken is a really good drink. Get in a glass, job's good and nice. New technology to compress data on the PS5 due to the SSD. Games need to be PS5 optimized. It won't work if it's on PS4. Xbox has similar technology, but isn't as good due to the speed of the SSDs compared to PS5. What's crazy? The PC version has better options in the game compared to PS5.
It's always the case, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Will the scope make a game one day, and if so, what would be the genre title? The scope or the scoop? We're making a game. The game is I don't know. I'll come back to that one. I was trying to think of the bands to drop, but wasn't quick enough, so I just gave up. It'd have been poor.
I'd make a 2D pixel art side scroller in the vein of Street Fighter. It's not Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, and Golden Axe.
And it wouldn't be fighting gangs of buffoons. It would be fighting your way through the back ends of Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube to get your content uploaded without DMCA strikes and shit like that. Pow! Fucking DMCA. Pow! Yeah. Bots and shit. Pow! Ad revenue. Fucker! Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. Game managed. That's it. Social medias around the world will unite in amazement. That's what it'll be. Degnan says, double XL heart. You goddamn right.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Good morning, Treacle. I'm on a gaming PC, lol, because I have a PS4 and I thought about a PS5, but I got a PC. I mean, all are good and none are good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just whatever you do, whatever you do. I mean, I've got a PC and a PS5 there. But
Two PS5s.
Yeah, sure. All right, 2 Lambos. Calm down. So gaming PC and PS5. Actually, I can show you. Actually, I don't know if I can. Is my angle going to pick it up?
No, have you got your camera to me?
Yeah. Never mind. You can't see it. Never mind. Because
Really?
I'm going to turn off the camera to Bob, and then let's go back to that one, and it might work, unless it's still looped up. There you go. So you can kind of see PC, PS5. So both are there. But my PS5 does things that my PC doesn't, and my PC does things that my PS5 doesn't. And I wouldn't be able to run a stream and run Discord and play games with friends and stuff from the PS5 without the PC. Well, not until next year when the Discord comes to the PlayStation and stuff. But yeah, that all happens as a result of them doing cool things. So both are good. Both are good. Definitely super. I mean, I'd recommend a gaming PC to anyone, and I would recommend a PS5 if you've got the money. I would probably say my PC is more useful than my PS5 generally at the moment, because my PS5 is just it's a more stable PS4. That's what it is, because there's no real PS5 games.
Quieter.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That goes without saying.
I'm sure that is the reason RTX voice was made. That was created because of the fans on a PlayStation 4. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, your PS4 is like, that's a really nice, not really needed pixel on your screen there. Let me just render that out for you. For fuck's sake. Fuck off. And then the PS4, when it speaks to the PUBG gods, and it's like, yeah, we want a smoke grenade, that we don't want loud explosions. We don't want it to inflict damage. We literally just want it to create a white cloud that people could stand in. Okay, so you want a grenade, you want a Molotov, you want a smoke grenade. Okay, nice, yeah, fine. Okay, we can do grenades, big loud explosions, doors can blow up, it can kill people, it can blow up vehicles, fine. Molotov can spread along the ground, set people on fire, they can in turn set other people on fire. That's fine, yeah, we can code that. Just a cloud? No. So if anyone hasn't seen it, is it even, was it !smoke? Is that what it was? There you go. If you don't know what we're on about, check that clip out. If you're watching on YouTube, then just visit our Twitch and type !smoke in the chat whenever we're live. You'll see it. My PS4 overheated, and it was lovely. It was such an enjoyable day. There you go. And was this when we was playing PUBG and we had to avoid smokes? Yeah, it was when we were on for the 3-peat. We'd had back-to-back wins, and we were on for win number 3. And it was me and you 2v2. Final instances of the game, and then my PS4 just gave up. Oh no, the fucking that's kind of what I said. So yeah, there you go. Rolling back up. Amazing setup. Oh, cheers, dude. If you wanted to experience Microsoft Flight Simulator, PS4 already had it. The audio elements, just close your eyes and that's it. You're full on takeoff. You're going down Manchester runway 1 kind of thing. PS5 is G's not crashing during PUBG smoke grenades console. Exactly, that's what it is. So it's my PS5 is what my PS4 should have been at the end of its life cycle. And the only reason I wouldn't say it's PS5 yet is because we haven't really got the PS5 games, but they are coming. They will be here soon, and we'll find out more about that towards the end of this week and into next week as well, because we do have E3, there's Ubisoft, Take-Two, obviously we've got the Xbox conference, but that's not really going to impact on the PS5. Maybe some of the Bethesda stuff might cross over, maybe not. Nintendo, obviously not PlayStation, but there's a lot more conferences coming this week, so we'll finally now start to see the titles that will make the PS 4.5 fully be a PS5, and we will keep you up to date with a lot of that content as well. There is more conferences than we can keep you up to date with live anyway. We will obviously update you in the scoop, as we usually do, but we will pick off a number of the larger conferences. You will be able to see those either on our channels or on the channels of the people that we'll be sharing content with. We'll have more information on that coming out later this week, but yeah, there you go. Anyway, that wraps things up. I'll give you a quick reminder. We started things off saying a Pokemon-alike game called Palworld is basically Pokemon but with guns. You can murder Pokemon if you want. So there you go. Anyone playing Pokemon Go, and you've got like a 10 CP Pidgey pops up in front of you, and you think, go on, we'll have that. And you lob your Pokeball at it, and the Pidgey dodges out of the way, and you're like, I don't even want you. I'm just catching you to be charitable. So you throw another Pokeball, and you hit the Pidgey. 1 shake. 2 shake, and then it bursts out. You're like, I don't even want you. Well, now you can shoot the Pidgey in the face. Just play Palworld on PC next year.
Or throw a grenade at it.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah, another Pokeball. Pidgey's like, yeah, what?
It's just a painted grenade in the shape of a Pokeball, all in the style of a Pokeball. That'd be amazing.
Get the fuck out of here. Just a little scorch mark on the floor and 2 Pidgey feet.
Oh,
That's what you get. That's what you
so
get.
good.
So yeah, Palworld comes out on PC, well, Steam next year. We'll have more information on that when it comes, but that's the first news on that. Elsewhere, Xbox exclusive game, The Medium, looks like it might be coming to PS5, and PS5 exclusive game, Oddworld Soulstorm, looks like it might be coming to Xbox. So a little bit of sharing, and then finally, Ratchet Clank Rift Apart, weighing at a nimble 33 gig. So pretty light. That's what you like to see. That's what you like to see. This is nice. So you've got Knockout City, which was like 12 gig. Ratchet and Clank, 33 gig. That's 2 decent games, less than 50 gig. That's what the next generation should be. Yes, please. Yes, please. Anyway, we are going to disappear. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another episode of The Scoop. We'll be back with more Scoopalicious content tomorrow and throughout the rest of the week, plus those E3 broadcasts, as mentioned. We will potentially be playing games. Are you playing any games today, babe?
No, I've got a little bit of work that I need to do this afternoon.
Okay, well, I may potentially be playing games. So if you want to see me play some games and you are new here, feel free to drop a follow on the channel. That way you do get notified when we do go live. Just like Aiden, there we go, the Phantom did 12 minutes ago. Thank you very much for the follow, Aiden. Appreciate you. If you are new here and you do have yourself a spare sub, maybe you've got a Prime that you've not used, make sure you use it today. If you're thinking about it, use it today. You don't have to sub at all, and that's not what I'm saying. But if you are going to sub, do it today and get in the Discord, because we will be drawing the winner of our loot drop. And it says Ratchet and Clank down there. It's only 33 gig. Well, we will be giving away a code to that, or to Super Mario Golf or Mass Effect Legendary Edition in our loot drop. That's our monthly giveaway. One person will win it. So if you're thinking about subbing, make sure you do it today to make sure you're in with a chance. You don't have to, though. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. Nice. Before we disappear, though, Mr. Bibb, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Yes, there is, Graham. Thank you very much to each and every one of you that joined the show today. Got involved in the chat. If you are watching this on demand, then you can just put all of it. If you agree with anything that we put or disagree, there's a comment section down below. Get involved with there. But if you do want to help shape our show, then there's 2 ways you can do that. First of all, find us on social media. It's at Ice Cream Rollers across all major social media platforms, or get involved with our Discord. There is an area on the left-hand side that says The Scoop. All we need from you is a URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow? Graham Day.
The Scoop tomorrow will be live at 10 a.m.
Ish.
10 a.m.-ish is when we go live with The Scoop. Nice. 10 a.m.-ish, so probably 12:30. You know what it's like. It's fine. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m.-ish. If you are sticking around, we might have some gameplay for you today. It may be PUBG. We will see. We will see. I was playing PUBG at 1 o'clock this morning with Beans, so it may just be PUBG.
Oh my God, the partnership's back.
Team B Day, yeah. If anyone doesn't know, Beans, he's a lapsed streamer. He may come back one day, but Beans TV, friend of the channel, he was playing with me. He's Beans, I'm Graham Day, Team B Day, which is another name for something that cleans your bum. So yes, there you go, Team B Day. And on that bombshell, you love to see it. No, you don't. You don't love to see it. We'll see you in a bit. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and remember to stay frosty. Hey.